we've been working together now for probably, is it 3 or just over 3 years? Hard to believe, but what challenges were you facing? I know you guys looked into and decided to use EasyRCA, but why don't you just give us, you shared some of like those challenges, but what were kind of those challenges you were facing before then?
Yeah, I think I touched on some of them there, but mainly, with if you really count all the sites now, back then, I was supporting probably 32 sites, and now it's getting closer to 40 in some way or another. So a lot of different sites. You can imagine a lot of lines running at each site, a lot of different people. People move through the different positions, fairly rapidly. A lot going on, a lot of opportunity for improvement, even though our uptime numbers and stuff are relatively decent. But the fact of the matter was that everyone was doing an analysis to different levels, from pretty thorough analysis to nothing at all, and there was no oversight in that, and not that it was needed so much, but one of the pieces that's really missing is the follow through. So we weren't sure. We would get a report on an analysis of a failure or an opportunity, but then not know if the solutions got implemented all the way through. So some standardization, a little bit of accountability, a little bit of follow through. As we were evaluating the tool, it needed to be simple enough to do very simple analysis, but powerful enough to give us the thorough analysis plus the follow up pieces.
What were other kind of criteria you were considering to lead you in the EasyRCA direction over other options you may have considered?
Yeah. So like you said, easy to use, versatile, and then the power of it, and then probably as much as anything, the ability to support that multiple site that situation we have, or our network. So the ability to have multiple users, and part of the benefit of that was definitely standardizing the analysis and stuff, but probably more than any other job I've had or company I've worked with, just our opportunity to replicate is huge. We may have one particular absolute identical model of equipment, same, model, and we may have 1,500 of them. So, if we solve a solution, solve a problem, develop a solution at one site. So I needed that solution to have some visibility across the platforms.
So tell us about how AI has been adopted. I know there's a potential tension between, whenever you introduce AI, everyone's nervous. People aren't going to do the work anymore. They're just going to click a button and do it for them. But you've kind of said like, no, it's actually giving people more confidence, increased adoption. Can you tell us about how that dynamic has played out?
Yeah, I'm one of those people that was skeptical about it at first, and I think the ability and the timing of when you rolled out the different features, starting with using it to create my executive summary and my report, realizing that the tool could help me be more concise and really reach the audience that I needed and save me tons of time. Got comfortable using it in that manner, and then the ability to have it suggest nodes and even corrective actions and things like that popped up, and realizing that I didn't have to keep anything that it suggested. It was just things there as suggestions. I could delete it very easily if I needed to delete a node, or it also generated some thought. It may say something or suggest something that then led me to add a couple more of my own. So just knowing that it's not final, or that it doesn't really determine, the path of your analysis, just helpful. As you go down and get some depth in your analysis, I think it was helpful to encourage people to keep drilling until they got to a systemic root cause. And I think that was a problem in the past. I think we were pretty shallow in our analysis. So with the AI, it suggested, nodes on down into the systemic roots. So it helped us know what level to get to.
Are there any other features you'd highlight as particularly helpful for you all?
For me, definitely still from looking at it from kind of a headquarters perspective, the ability to publish and share and collaborate, I think is huge, and it's super easy. Click the little picture of the globe, and it shows up in the publish list. So